The backstage hallway is quiet but not peaceful. It hums with tension. Soft footsteps, distant murmurs, the rustle of cue cards, and the low echo of dreams waiting to be judged. Bright studio lights spill through the curtains, yet in one corner stands a boy who seems almost invisible to the world around him. He is a teenager from Cebu, Philippines. His clothes are simple, clean but clearly worn from years of use. His shoes have lost their shine, their edges softened by long walks on cracked roads and dusty streets. He holds a small piece of paper in his hands, folded and unfolded so many times it's nearly falling apart. On it are the lyrics he's been singing since childhood, lyrics that once echoed through alleyways, ferry docks, and busy markets, not grand stages like this. His name is called. For a brief moment he closes his eyes. In that silence, his entire life flashes before him. He remembers waking up before sunrise in Cebu, the salty air drifting in from the sea, the sound of tricycles starting their engines, his mother quietly preparing rice with whatever little they had left, his father leaving early, sometimes for work, sometimes just to look for it. There were days when food was uncertain, days when dreams felt like luxuries they couldn't afford. Music was never planned. Music simply happened. As a child, he would sing while helping his mother, while carrying water, while walking barefoot on warm concrete streets. Neighbors noticed first, then strangers. Some smiled, some stopped to listen. A few dropped coins into his hand. Singing slowly became more than comfort, it became survival. But survival comes with a cost. He remembers being laughed at. Why sing? Find real work. Dreams don't feed families. Those words followed him everywhere. Still, every night, when the city quieted and the stars appeared faintly above Cebu's crowded skyline, he sang softly to himself. Not for money, not for attention, but because singing was the only place his pain felt understood. Now, standing backstage on one of the world's biggest talent shows, those memories press heavily against his chest. He looks around. Other contestants stretch their vocal cords, rehearse lines, adjust outfits designed to impress. Some have coaches, some have stylists. Some carry confidence like armor. He carries hope, fragile, shaking, but alive. A producer approaches gently and asks, "Are you ready?" He nods, though his hands tremble. The curtain begins to open. The stage is enormous. Lights explode above him, brighter than anything he has ever seen. For a second, he feels small, smaller than he ever felt on the streets of Cebu. Thousands of eyes turn toward him. Cameras zoom in. The judges sit tall behind the desk, expressions neutral, unreadable. The audience murmurs. Some glance at his appearance, some tilt their heads, curious, some quietly judge. He steps forward. Each footstep echoes, loud in his ears. His heart pounds so hard he wonders if the microphones can hear it. The host asks him his name and where he's from. His voice is soft but steady as he answers, "I'm from Cebu, Philippines." The judges nod politely. Then comes the question that changes everything. "Why did you come here?" He hesitates. This is the moment he didn't practice. His throat tightens, but he speaks. He talks about poverty, about singing on the streets, about helping his family, about believing that maybe, just maybe, his voice could open a door that life had kept closed for so long. The audience grows quiet, not dramatic quiet, real quiet, the kind that listens. One judge leans forward, curiosity replacing skepticism. Another watches him carefully, noticing the honesty in his eyes. Even the toughest judge, known for crushing dreams with blunt words, studies him closely. Still, expectations remain low. They've seen stories before. They've heard sad backgrounds before. A story alone is not enough. The boy takes his position at center stage. A single spotlight falls on him. Everything else fades. The noise, the fear, the doubt. He grips the microphone, feeling its cool weight in his hands. This microphone is not like the ones he borrowed or imagined. This one carries power, the power to change lives, to silence rooms, to open impossible doors. But power means nothing without courage. He takes a deep breath. Before singing, one last thought crosses his mind. His mother's face, her tired smile, her quiet sacrifices. her belief in him when no one else did. "If you're scared," she once told him, "sing anyway." His lips part. The world waits. This is where the judges still think they're in control. This is where the audience still believes they're about to decide something. This is where expectations are still small. They don't know yet. They don't know that the boy standing before them has already fought battles far greater than stage fright. That hunger, rejection, and survival have trained his voice in ways no vocal coach ever could. They don't know that the sound about to leave his chest carries years of struggle, tears, prayer, and resilience. For now, all they see is a poor Filipino teen from Cebu. Quiet, nervous, unassuming. The kind of contestant the world often overlooks. The music cue is given. The first note is seconds away. And just before he sings, the camera captures his face. Fear melting into focus. Pain turning into purpose. This is the moment before the miracle. The moment when the world is still loud. The moment right before a voice rises and changes everything. The first note leaves his lips. It is soft, almost fragile. For a split second it floats uncertainly through the air, like a question being asked. A few people in the audience shift in their seats. One judge raises an eyebrow, not impressed yet. The world has not gone quiet. Then the second note follows. Stronger, steadier. Something in the room changes. The boy's voice carries a texture no one expected. It is not polished in a studio. It is not trained in expensive classrooms. It is raw-weathered, shaped by open streets, late nights, and survival. Every sound feels lived in, as if the voice itself has a past. The audience leans forward. The whispers stop. As the melody unfolds, his nervous hands relax around the microphone. His shoulders drop. The stage, the lights, the judges, they fade into the background. For the first time since stepping on stage, he is not afraid. He is home. The lyrics tell a story of longing, of searching, of hope that refuses to die. And somehow, though the song is familiar, it sounds new in his voice. Deeper, heavier, more honest. Each word lands carefully, as if he understands their weight better than anyone else ever could. A woman in the audience covers her mouth. A man wipes his eyes, surprised by his own reaction. The cameras catch everything. One judge glances sideways at another. This wasn't expected. This wasn't planned. As the song builds, so does his confidence. His voice rises, not just in pitch, but in power. It fills the massive theater, reaching every corner, every balcony, every heart sitting in darkness. This is no longer a performance. This is a confession. He closes his eyes on a long note, holding it effortlessly. It trembles slightly, not from weakness, but from emotion. It sounds like pain being released. Like years of being unheard finally finding space. The audience is completely still now. No coughing, no shifting, no phones, just silence. The kind of silence that listens. At the judges' table something cracks. The toughest judge, the one famous for brutal honesty, stares at the boy, unmoving. His jaw tightens, his eyes glisten though he doesn't blink. He leans back slowly, as if the weight of the voice has physically hit him. Another judge presses her fingers against her lips, shaking her head in disbelief. How is this real? Her expression seems to ask. The boy reaches the chorus, and this is where everything breaks open. The chorus explodes, not loud, but full. His voice expands, rich and controlled, soaring without strain. It wraps around the audience, pulling them in, refusing to let go. This is the sound of someone who has nothing left to lose, and everything to give. Goosebumps ripple across the room. A standing ovation feels close, but no one moves. They're afraid to breathe. Back in Cebu, in a small home far away, his mother sits in front of a screen. Her hands are clasped tightly together. She recognizes that voice instantly, not just the sound, but the soul behind it. She whispers his name. On stage, the boy opens his eyes. For the first time, he sees the faces in front of him. Not as judges, not as critics, but as people. People feeling what he feels. People understanding what he's trying to say. His fear melts into something else, purpose. He approaches the bridge of the song, the most difficult part. This is where many singers fall apart. This is where voices crack, where nerves take over. But he doesn't break. He rises. The note he hits next is unreal. Clear, powerful, pure. It cuts through the air like light through darkness. A gasp ripples through the audience. One judge's eyes fill completely now. He doesn't hide it. He doesn't look away. He lets the tears come. The boy holds the note, then gently brings the song back down, softening his voice until it almost becomes a whisper again. It feels intentional, mature, like someone who understands silence as well as sound. Every rise, every fall, perfect. As the final lines approach, his voice carries exhaustion and hope at the same time. It sounds like someone who has walked a long road and is still walking, still believing. The last note hangs in the air, lingering, refusing to disappear. And then, silence. Not the awkward kind, the sacred kind. For a full second, no one moves. Then another. Then, the room erupts. The audience leaps to its feet, applause crashing like thunder. People shout, some cry openly. The energy is overwhelming, unstoppable. The boy stands frozen at center stage. He doesn't bow, he doesn't smile. He looks stunned, as if he's not sure this moment belongs to him. At the judges' table, reactions spill over. One judge wipes tears from her cheeks, laughing through emotion. Another stands, clapping above his head. And the toughest judge? He remains seated, but his hands tremble as he slowly brings them together in applause. His eyes never leave the boy. The applause continues, louder and louder. The world that once felt so loud is now echoing with one thing: his voice. The boy finally exhales, his chest rises and falls rapidly. His eyes shine, not with pride but with disbelief. He came here hoping to be heard. Instead, he has silenced the world. And though he doesn't know it yet, though the judges haven't spoken, though the golden buzzer hasn't been touched, this moment has already changed his life. Because no matter what happens next, the world will never hear him the same way again.